Hello, Phillip.
Hello, Ruba.
We welcome you to the WinCamp studio.
Thank you.
And I'd like to introduce Phillip Beltz. He's the he's the director for the Jenks Center and the Council on Aging. And I will ask him to say a few words to our audience. What was it that most attracted or challenged you to take this job as director for the Council on Aging and director for the Jenks?
I interviewed for the position in March of 2016, and I remember that what was most appealing to me was that everything was new. The building was undergoing construction. It was probably like 3/4 way through the construction. Mm-hmm. There had been a change of staff, change of board members, and everything seemed new, and it seemed to me that it was a provident opportunity to take a position that was also somewhat newly created because they had vision of doing a reorganization of the different organizations at the Jenks Center, and also with new staffing, new board members, and it just seemed like a very good opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Could you tell us from where you came to Winchester? What was your job that you had earlier?
Prior to Winchester, I have a master's degree in social policy, social work, and I primarily worked in addressing issues of poverty and homelessness. I was the director of homeless outreach for the city of Philadelphia, as well as I was a senior manager for the largest nonprofit in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania on homeless and poverty programs. And I had done that for about 10 years in Philadelphia, and then I moved to a relatively small town in eastern Long Island. It was the town of Southold, and I was hired initially as special projects coordinator to help develop affordable housing opportunities, as well as community development and economic development. And in addition, I served as the deputy supervisor. So I was really involved with the entire town administration, government administration, and did a lot of different varied work with the community. And I really enjoyed the work that I did, but decided that I wanted to live in a less rural community, and that's why I moved to Boston.
Thank you. You have been with the Jenks since April of 2016.
Correct.
What challenges have you met so far? And could you let the audience know how best you were able to get around these, bringing the best to Jenks?
Well, I think the task at hand to try to develop a different organization, one that was more centered on the seniors that came in the building and the services they receive as being Jenks patrons, as opposed to those that were Council on Aging or Winchester Senior Association. So it was really a redevelopment of a business model, human service model, that we were all there to serve the seniors that come in the center, as well as those that don't come into the center, and try to find out how we can try to make the center more enticing for seniors to come in. And I think that a lot of that was staff development, as well as hiring new staff and the development of new programs as well to make the center very relevant to the community.
Jenks has been a very vibrant and active community. I have heard from my friends in other towns that it is a welcoming place for all seniors. Would you like to mention a couple of programs that would seem welcoming and, in your estimation, attractive to the newcomers?
Well, we have a lot of partnerships that we formed of recent, and including we're working with the Winchester School of Chinese Culture, and they've brought several programs regarding dance, music, and cooking, and some educational programs. We had a tea, a program on tea. We also are working with Right Lock Farm, and Right Lock Farm has a garden club that we've developed at the Jenks. So once a week we harvest and plant And we also have programs on flower arranging and some programs up at the farm as well. We're working with the local institutions like Whole Foods and Stop and Shop, and they have programs that bring people in to learn about cooking as well as different holidays for celebrations. And I think that's been very beneficial. Along with some of the new programs, we have a Tai Chi program that started with several people and now it has about 30. We have 5 language classes at the Jenks. When I started, we were initially just with a class on French, and then there was a consideration for Spanish, and then now we have Portuguese. We also have German. So it's grown and has different interest levels with and Italian. So that's 5 classes throughout the course of a week, which is pretty good sized number of people.
Have the newly introduced programs been very successful?
I think most of them have been. I mean, when we establish programs, we don't always know how they're going to be received by the patrons, but we always give it a little time to see, whether with time, with marketing, if we get enough people to come. And most of the new programs that we've tried have, in fact, been successful.
Fitness classes seem to attract many. Attending these classes designed to keep fit has become a fun class to meet and greet and make friends, encouraging our minds too to be active. Do you believe in this? And have you joined these classes?
Well, I haven't joined the classes because it's hard for me to maintain my role as the director and then be in a class, although I do confess I take exercise classes in Winchester 2 days a week, so I do know the importance of exercise. And I always say that the most successful aspect of exercise is that you always feel better after exercising than you did when you started. And at the Jenks, we have many classes. Our Monday, Wednesday, Friday exercise class has anywhere up to about 75 people, and it's very popular. We also have different strength training. We have dance aerobics. The Tai Chi class has become very popular.
Right.
And and we also have yoga, which is a form of exercise.
Yeah, I noticed.
And we have 2 yoga classes that meet simultaneously during the course of a week.
Memory Cafe. I believe this is a new program you introduced to Jenks and attracts many seniors to attend this. How would you best describe what Memory Cafe has brought to the Jenks Center?
The Memory Cafe was actually a mandate from the Massachusetts Office of Elder Affairs. And with the growing population with dementia and Alzheimer's, they wanted councils on aging to address this issue by having some form of programming. What we've done at the Jenks is we have a monthly Memory Cafe, and it's directed by our nurse, social worker, and myself, and we have guest speakers. We have different topics that we have to help incorporate people with memory disorders to help them remember and sort of bring back a lot of pleasant memories. So we've done some things on pets and animals. We've done historical Winchester. We've had certain with movies, old movie clips. We've done songs and music, artwork, and we can simultaneously have a caregiver support group. So that way the person who's taking care of a loved one with a memory disorder, they can have support through a group, and then the loved ones have an activity for an hour and a half. And that's once a week. It happens once a month, and sometimes we have it more frequently, and it's noticed through the newsletter.
As a director for the Council on Aging, do you see a significant increase of seniors in the town of Winchester?
Well, we're always seeing, we are seeing an increase of people coming into the center, but demographically, we're finding that there are probably less seniors in town than there were probably according to the U.S. Census, which was the most accurate record would be 2010, and which also was part of a needs assessment that we're going to be working on. But we're seeing that demographically more families with school-age children are moving into town, and then with that it's generally less seniors.
Considering that the world around us is rapidly changing, newcomers seeking our schools and a safe town, do you see that senior community is growing, bringing diverse ideas and some new challenges?
Well, I think the seniors are always bringing forth ideas, and we welcome those ideas. Every day we have at least 2-3 suggestions. We have a suggestion box. We have surveys that we issue during programs, and seniors also are members of many different committees at the Jenks, and they have many programming ideas, and they bring forth a lot of suggestions, and I think that's certainly a major component of the changing programs at the Jenks.
And considering that these changes makes us diverse and a dynamic community, are you able to work with them and easily introduce some inclusive ideas to a new beginning? I mean, direct them.
Right. I think that despite some initial resistance for some new programs, that ultimately there's generally some kind of acceptance, and people are willing to try new things, and I think that's a good thing. That people are welcoming to new ideas and to new programs.
That's good. Festive holidays are greatly celebrated at the Jenks. In your view, which one of these holidays attracts the senior members to the Jenks, the most amount of them?
Well, we have a program that is in December that's sponsored through the Winchester Cooperative Bank, and it's called the Festival of Life. And we offer a lunch, as well as we have some gift certificates, and we have entertainment through the middle school and the Winchester High School. And that generally will completely book up in a matter of days from when we notice it. And it's in the beginning of December, and it's a very popular program. And we just started last year with, in July, National Hot Dog Day with a cornhole tournament. And we had about 75 people that came to that, and we'll be duplicating that in July of this year. We started this year with a Valentine dance, and that was not as successful as I had hoped. We deliberately didn't make it where it was couples, but the people would feel free to come in, but I think we can probably try to make a few tweaks to that. We did have a St. Patrick's dance with Irish step dancers and a corned beef dinner, and that ended up being very successful. So we are captivating different holidays. Last year we started a Grandparents' Day brunch, and National Grandparents' Day is in, I believe, the second Sunday in September. And this was generously supported by Salter Healthcare, and we're looking to repeat that again this year in September.
With interesting programs and the numbers growing, you must be very pleased that Jenks has a spanking new look with more space to accommodate all and more programs coming in. Are you happy about that?
Oh, I think that the center is absolutely beautiful. If someone in the audience has not been to the center to see the renovations, it's, I think, considered to be the gold standard of centers, senior centers in the state. And beautiful views looking out at Judkins Pond. We have, state-of-the-art technological equipment for movies, surround sound for concerts, and we have, from floors that are very pliant, that are great for exercise. We have classrooms. So the center is really very accommodating, and it's a great place to be, and I think it's very inspirational. When people come to the center for the first time, they're just wowed by how beautiful it is, and I'm very happy about that, as well as how staff are very receptive to everybody new coming in.
Thank you for sending out the new letters by snail mail, always on time, plus the new letters online. In your recent newsletter, you have appealed that it would help cut costs if savvy seniors who receive the newsletters online could call in to stop their snail mail issues. Has this appeal been helpful so far?
Actually, it hasn't. We had 6 people that responded saying that they would read it online. We have the Jenks Center website, and the newsletter can be found on the website. But I think most patrons like having the copy. It comes with a hard copy of the calendar for the month. And most people like to put the calendar right on the refrigerator or on the table, and it's an easy tool for them. We knew that we wouldn't get many people that would respond, but we also know that there's a different emerging demographic with baby boomers being seniors, and many of these individuals are also working, and it's hard for them to really find time to come to the Jenks Center. But we're hoping with time that maybe they might read the newsletter online. And we're also looking to maybe, when you spoke of changes in programs, in having some more opportunities on weeknights and on weekends. So working seniors would have some opportunities.
The Council on Aging Needs Assessment is underway. Thank you. A great way to know and to work on major issues that trouble seniors. Apart from affordable housing, medical insurance, transportation seems to be a major challenge. Could you tell us about the rides and the taxi vouchers a little bit, so that seniors who have missed this, reading about it, could hear from you?
Definitely. The Council on Aging sponsors 5 different transportation programs, and many people are not aware, but the transportation is a critical need to prevent isolation, to allow people to get out of their homes, to be with others, to be able to avail of a lot of services that many people take for granted. We provide subsidized taxi vouchers that individuals can purchase for $3, and the Council on Aging pays the $7 for every $3 a senior pays, and it enables seniors to take cabs throughout town. And we also have a volunteer driver program that we're always looking for additional volunteers, but volunteers will take seniors to either medical appointments, personal appointments like hairdresser, grocery shopping, and that makes a very big difference to allow people. And we also bring people into the center. We have arrangement with Salter Healthcare through a van, where they will bring individuals to the center for an eating together program, which offers a subsidized lunch, and that gets many homebound seniors out of the house in for lunch. And we try to develop movies and different programs around that. And in addition, we work with other organizations that help provide transportation. And Winchester Mount Vernon House, they have a mini bus that they provide us for shopping. So we have trips to either malls or grocery shopping, might go to like Market Basket or somewhere. And that's also a very well utilized program.
Right. You do have a great staff, very welcoming staff.
I agree very much.
And I would like to thank them especially at this time when I'm talking to you. Is there anything you would like to convey to our listeners as a way of encouragement to our future visitors, seniors who are thinking of coming but still haven't come to the senior center?
I think I see this very frequently, is that it really is a challenge for somebody to just make that first step to come in and just experience what it's like. And I think one is it's the unknown. I think there's the myth that, I'm not of that age. I don't want to go to a, quote, senior center. And I think that if people would just, give us a 3-second break to come in, if only just to take a tour and say, I'd like to see the center, maybe just have a cup of coffee, and you'll see that it's a very welcoming community. And we have a steady stream that starts at 9 o'clock in the morning up through 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And so, the people that come in and they might not be interested in doing any organized activity, but just to spend some time with others. I think it's very important that people make that human connection and get out of the house and have the ability to be with others. And so I would say that if you have any reluctance, that it's definitely understandable, but try to overcome that reluctance and come in and give us a try.
Oh, that's a very nice invitation from you. Thank you. And thank you, Phillip, for your time.
Well, thank you very much for asking me.
Yes, it was a pleasure having you at WinCamp Studio. And I'm sure the community will greatly appreciate the work you do for all of us.
Well, thank you very much.
And the upcoming seniors, too. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.